they're selling you that it's ease of mind. Sorry, convenience. That's the word. It's it's a convenience for you. But the reality is, if you go on the underground and you're streaming music, you can't hear it no more. Why? Because there's no more access to the internet. So this is the same thing. Everything on the on the west coast of America right now. You have what's the name of those ships? You have freight ships in the hundreds. I'm sure in the thousands right now that are basically stranded out in the sea, right, the Pacific Ocean, waiting to be docked up on the west coast of America to basically give them all of their food supplies and all these different supplies. And guess what? That's a man-made shortage that's going on. And then throughout the following months, they're going to feel the effects of it. Same thing over here. Like they mentioned, they're letting it be known of the HGV crisis. And they're saying that 5,000 people can come work. And I believe they got about 100 odd, 150 or something like that. But guess what? They need a lot more than that, right? And they ain't got enough. So that's what that spells food shortages. But then what does that also let it be known? That the price of everything's gonna go up. And let's not even forget that you just had inflation gonna go through the roof. Because you just had furlough for the past year and a half, right? Whereby there's just been taxes got helicopter money. So a lot of people don't really fucking realise what is about to go on. Like all the signs are there on a carnal level. But the reason why we know all these things is because this is the words of the Heavenly Father coming to pass. Let me quickly read this precept. But if you got a point to say, yeah, I'll just read this precept. It's the book of Revelations 19 and 10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship the Most High. Now it's a point. For the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. So basically, the prophetic words of the Bible is what? A testimony, a testament unto the power of the Heavenly Father through His Son, Yahweh Shai, which basically has control over everything. Right? So all these things happening, they're testaments. They're going to show and prove that everything I've put in the Bible pertains to truth. Right? And that's what we're in the midst. That's why I read it. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. That's us knowing these things is going to be able to give us stability. Right?
Ezekiel 28, 2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Most High Power, because thine heart is lifted up, thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, not God, thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel, there is no secret they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, thus saith the Most High Power. Well, yeah, it's Esau's wisdom. That's why he's been able to construct this current world, and it's really why he utilized, his understanding of the research and work he's done to be able to keep the people in a certain statement, a certain mindset. As far as when you talk with the general public now, most people are just they're looking to try and live life, and like the brother mentioned, there's a bunch of crises that are basically on the horizon that there's no easy solution. And it's funny because as well, like it's October, the sun's still out, so the fact it's still warm means as well there could be usually when it's a milder summer, you get a milder winter, but if you have like a hotter summer, it's going to be a more intense winter. So we'll see how it goes down, and if it's that cold winter, then it's going to get peaked. Because as well, like the brother mentioned, the energy crisis. I think now the UK, they've done a deal with Russia where they're going to be providing gas as well. I think just gas. I need to double check because I think I might have it somewhere. But doing a deal with Russia as well, and that's gonna be dependent on if sanctions come down from the US, then that shit will go out the window. Because especially with the UK is a big ally. They're not going to risk stepping on the toes. And sanctions on Russia, that's old news, man. They do that all the time. So if there's sanctions on Russia, then the energy crisis gets a bit more peaked. And that's the thing, is where's the easy solution? Because now it's gone from being part of the EU to now just being stranded off by yourself. It's like the EU, they'll do their deals, and they can kind of shrug off America. But it's like, if it's just the UK, they've lost that backing. And that, meanwhile, in the midst of various other issues, man. That's the thing. Right now, everything seems mild and pleasant, but it's really not been. It's continued with the same intensity. And that's as the society said, it's like fully setting great dignity over there. People are talking about Squid Game. People are talking about all forms of entertainment. They're thinking about what's the movie? The new Venom movie, the new James Bond.
Well, this is the thing though. With all these things that you mentioned, they don't know that there's a thing known as predictive programming, right? And the elites of this world, they basically utilize it. An example of that is when they make a military movie, they actually have to refer to the military. Say, take the US, for example, dealing with Hollywood. They have to actually refer to the Pentagon to get a go-ahead to allow them to actually do a movie. And the reason why they need to do that is to make sure the information shown in the movie is correct. So whenever you see it,
more just the Pentagon with whatever's being said. Because if they're criticizing the military, then a lot of those films are criticizing.
That's my point. I'm saying the same thing in a different way. Because it's basically like they're in agreement. Whatever's shown of them, they're in agreement with it. So anyways, when they show dystopian movies and certain things happen, that shows you what? Like martial law and all these things, that's basically a way of saying like, yeah, that's true. Alright? So basically, the point being is you have right now, I was even listening to a podcast, right now the trend is dystopian movies, right? Why is it that Squid Game is of high popularity right now? They may say it's interesting all the time. No, that's by design. If you know about anything about streaming platforms, they have control to basically, like a music video for example. You might have a certain artist, they release a music video on YouTube, and then you have the ads before whatever you click on, and they may play a whole music video. That's the thing they've done lately. Why are they playing the music video as an ad prior to you watching whatever video you want to watch? Because they're basically pumping up the numbers, right? So they have total control over the system. Now this is the same reason why the meme factory is basically going ham with Squid Games. Because I didn't know nothing about it until I went on YouTube and on Instagram, social media, and someone's posted a meme on it. And that's basically made me say, okay, what's this thing then? I didn't even watch it. I just went and watched like a review of the whole series basically. So now the funny thing about all of this is what's going on. Right, there's actually an article I got. I might bring it out actually. Where in the article they're basically going to how the Squid Games mirrors the tambourine, right? And the guy basically said that you'll find a lot of people, they'll put in a position where they got offered to play in a Squid Game, they'll probably take it up and say yes. And their life is in such a, between a rock and a hard place, basically. So this is all by design. A lot of people don't see the banana in the tailpipe, man. Even with a James Bond movie, right? No, it's to watch with some rubbish, man. That movie's basically about COVID-19. Ah, shit, I sent you the video. That video is about the Novid, alright? It's basically about that. If you watch it, it's specific to culling of the people, alright? And only certain people it's like a pinpoint form of germ warfare to kill specific people. Why are all these things in the movies and social media being shown to the people? It's by design, man. It's giving everyone a heads up, alright? And really not. And when I say everyone, it's giving the elites a heads up. Those that are in the know, alright? Those that it's for them to know that, look, you know, this is what's about to happen. This is the agenda we put forward. Let me get this on. You got something?
Yeah.
You got something?
Ezekiel 28:6. Therefore, thus saith the Most High Power, because thou hast said, thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers on thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. And that's the end result. Because the thing with, as far as all these indulgences, these things are still all bound within the realm of prophecy. Everything that's occurring, these things aren't outside of the words of the book. Everything's still been said. The word's gone out. You can't return void. It's really plain. That's the thing.
Romans 10, we read it, open it. Didn't know the word go out, and it said, yeah, to the ends of the earth. Everyone's heard this, basically.
That's even with the elites knowing of it. Whatever they're trying to do, it's going to work. The Lord's going to have it happen. Where just like with with America getting taken out, man, America being done away with, nukes being shot in America, these things are going to go down. It's unavoidable. The conflict, them hating the whore, it's going to go down.
I got that article, yeah. It's from the news, the news.com. Yeah, you know about it. Alright. And it says, the title of the article reads, behind the global appeal of Squid Game, a country's economic unease. In Squid Game, the hit dystopian television show of Netflix, 456 people facing severe debt and financial despair play a series of deadly children's games to win a 38 million cash prize in South Korea. Now it's a sign that even what's the other movie? Escape from New York. It's not Escape from New York. The one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Running Man. Hunger Games. This is like a consistent theme. And this ain't by, it ain't just a random thing, right? And when I say it, I'm not literally saying there's going to be a Hunger Games. It could be, you never know. But really, even in a way, these things are like metaphorical for anything. So this is all a game, the rat race, these type of things. So relaunch.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, what going on?
No, that's a good point.
That's cool.
Alright, Q Young Hunt, a 35-year-old office worker in Seoul. Is it Seoul? Seoul, that's what I was thinking. Has never had to face down masked homicidal guards or competitors out to slit his throat, like the characters in the show do. But Mr. Q, have you watched it? Alright then.
It's like you get the point of it without
Okay. Let me get to this point. So it says, Mr. Q, who got by on freelance gigs and government unemployment checks after he lost his steady job, said it is almost impossible to live comfortably with a regular employee's salary in a city with runaway housing prices like many young people in South Korea and elsewhere. Mr. Q sees a growing competition to grab a slice of a shrinking pie just like the contestants in the Squid Game. Those similarities have helped turn the 9-episode drama into an unlikely international sensation. Squid Game is now a top-ranked show in the the United States on Netflix is on its way to becoming one of the most watched series in the streaming services history. There's a very good chance it will be our biggest show ever. Ted Sarandos, a co-chief executive at Netflix, said during a recent business conference. All right. Might as well say it when.
Yeah, I was gonna say, funny with the things coming out of South Korea. The previous thing you had that blew up was Parasite, which is a movie with a very similar kind of vibe. The wave you've had pushing recently has been class warfare, and that's what these kind of like these Hunger Games, these like all these different kind of movies, these dystopian movies, post-apocalyptic, death game kind of series. A lot of it is about, we'll go back to like class warfare, which is something that's being pushed in the minds of the people. Because that's why you have like the whole vibe, like tax the rich. You have the what was it called, fucking Met Gala. We had what's her face? Cortez. She wore this dress with like tax the rich written on it. And they were making a whole fuss over it. Because why you have this whole like build basically politically where you had the more capitalistic side and then communistic side, where the highlighting the flaws in capitalism and how people are getting fucked over. So it's funny that Squid Game's in the same vibe, because that's really what's going down in South Korea. You've got those huge monetary divides where you have people that are fucking absolutely killing it and other people that are done out. Because Parasite was about more or less the same thing. You had like a rich family, and you had a fucking bottom of the barrel poor family where they'll basically through the daughter kind of I think it was either the daughter or the son, or both of them. They basically, worm their way into the family, and then were able to start making cake off them and getting their parents hired, getting the whole family basically hired, so they could up their lifestyle, like their quality of life. But then in the end, there's, certain things go down to where it gets the physical conflict, and it kind of highlights as well the difference in lifestyle and how if you're well off, you've got way easier blanket to kind of deal with misfortune, whereas on the flip side, those on the bottom, they're getting kind of trodden on. And this has been a thing for a while. It's basically got high-end over time. You had the thing with Occupy Wall Street, that was the exact same thing. But now it's being pushed again. It's being pushed, like the brother said, with media and politics as well. You've got like a lot of, you go on like TikTok, you go on Instagram, you see people are pushing out, they're basically being put in a mindset of like, oh, we want to equal out, how the wealth is, equal out, within society, certain, basically try and get a slice. And these things are what? They're basically being pushed towards that upset, that civil unrest, which has tied it over in certain times, but it's always kept bubbling just beneath the surface. And that's the thing, these things are within the plans of the elites. And these things are what goes down. Because when you add on top of that, the crisis of struggling to eat, struggling to get eaten, you had before, they mentioned like the care homes saying, oh, there was a bunch of preventable deaths in the care homes. Now if you have the energy crisis, where they're saying that, oh, there's a bunch of people dying because of this, people will be like, yo, they're going to get living. Their grandmother dies, their grandpa dies. These things can become huge points of contention where you get a big civil unrest. And you're seeing it. And if it's an icy cold winter, that winter's distant. These things will blow up.
So because 2nd Esdras 15 and 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. Salah. And one people shall stand up and fight against another and swords in their hands.
Yeah, that basically going to that physical point of physical conflict. That's the thing. Whenever you go into these dystopian futures, it's always gone above and beyond the point where it's like physical conflict. Right now, it's like, you know, getting into a fight, getting into a tussle. That's something that happens rarely. But when there's a small amount of resources, when people are in a heightened state of panic, then these things become hella normalized.
And you're getting a highlight into that dealing with the petrol crisis. Right now you're having all kinds of this, there's like highlight reels, like it's the fucking Champions League or NBA highlight reels of people getting into fisticuffs, fighting at the gas pump, trying to get a little bit more over the other individual, right? That's like a little highlight. It's gonna basically get into snowball more to like a Black Friday, right? Where everyone's fighting over a TV, but guess what? They're gonna be fighting over bread, right?
And that's the thing as well. It's like people's fucking diet, man. People can't go without eating. Like they are not built for that presently.
That's it. They're really not built for that.
So yeah, it's gonna take them out.
A lot of people eat for comfort. A lot of people got heavy demons on them. They're stressed out, anxiety, and they eat it to basically circumvent all their stress in their life. Guess what? There's gonna come a time when that's gonna skyrocket, right? Because there won't be no food for you to comfort yourself with. So that's gonna add the fuel to the fire. And then you even had there's an article that came out that was speaking about. There's an article that came out that's talking about how a year after someone has had the Novid, how basically they could get heart propulsion, like their heart could enlarge, blood clotting and all that type of stuff. And I think it's really a guise for them to say, you know, if you take the vaccine, that's really a side effect. But they want to kind of sweep it under the rug as like something to do with Novid, all right? But more the point being is that they said all that, but then one of the other points they wind up saying towards the end of the article, they said a lot of loneliness, people being isolated, and all these different things basically feed into the pot of people having issues, basically, and feeling fucked up. And that may be the cause of their stress and the reason they're having blood clots and all these different things. So it's showing you...
People have been... People can't deal with stress as is anyway. People can't deal with high panic situations. And anyways, it's like people are all jacked up body-wise anyway. Like whatever. In a general sense, the situation is jacking people up, and that's the thing. All the solutions they're going to be pointing to, like the max. Like any form of drug that they put you on, stress relief, those antidepressants, all these medications, they'll basically keep you in a destroyed state, man. People are basically being worn down, and that's the thing. Once you're in the mindset of just like, oh, well, I'm looking for a medicated solution, then the Kuragma's going to be in that same vein. Basically, okay, this is a new thing. Take this, regulate shit, you know, they're thinking like, they're stressing about, oh, X, Y, and Z. This is going to come as a solution. And that's the thing. Talk to people. They're like, they're already in a mindset like, oh yeah, everyone should have to get their boosters. Everyone should still be wearing masks. Everyone should still be doing X, Y, Z. Because they're basically just looking for safety. But those things, once it becomes evident, safety is not a thing that can be gone. That's when people are going to start getting rabid.
Well, they've already came out and let it be known that the mask don't do nothing. But guess what? That's gone over people's heads. Why? Because they kind of they put the sugar in the medicine, basically by saying that it's a thing of comfort, it makes you feel good. And a lot of people, they feel comfortable with that. So let me read this. It's a book of Isaiah 13 and 6. How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand, it shall come as destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames.
It said comes destruction from the Almighty. That's the other thing. What we're dealing with is divine judgment, as it's called, man. This is something that's been sent from on high. And as such, then that's where it comes to you trying to circumvent it through carnal means. Well, it's undoable. And that's the thing. One of the lies of the present time is everything can be circumvented by carnal means. There's some way or manner by which you can basically bring about what you desire. And that's the big part of the mindset of why people are gonna feed into anything these so even does. Because people are like, it's people don't do research, they don't look into things. What they call it confirmation bias, where basically you're gonna like anything that any information you get, you're basically only gonna deal with information that lines up with what your way of thought already is, your line of thought. And that's the thing. People that have already got their shots, they're basically just gonna be leaning when they're like, okay, well I've done what I've needed to do to secure my safety. So everyone else should be doing the same thing. Or okay, yeah, they're going to be invested and continue down that line wherever it goes.
Yeah, let me carry on. 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men. Let me look up this word, sedition. So the word sedition, it means conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state of honor. Alright? Let me get another word. Or well, the etymology says violent or strife. Alright? Going apart, the breakup of the words. So basically what you're gonna have, let me read it again. So it says verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, all right? So you're gonna basically have violence between men, right? That's what's coming to the society. There's gonna be a divide amongst the people, whereby they're gonna get violent towards one another, and that's easy to be seen. A drop of a hat, it can happen, all right? So let me read again. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So what's that talking about? It's talking about martial law, which is basically being implemented before your eyes. Right now they have what? They have, due to the petrol crisis, they said that now they're gonna have army reserves basically delivering petrol throughout the UK. Alright? Now when you head over to America, alright, when you deal with New York, due to their laws that are put in place, you now got the National Guard basically working in place of unvaccinated nurses, right, within the hospital. They're basically filling any role that lacks, right, in that position. And that's a form of what? Martial law, right? They have authority within those places. And it's the same thing you're going to see over here, because over the course of, and this is what a lot of people don't realize, the elites of the society deal with something known as gradualism, or incrementalism, however you pronounce it, right? Where basically there's a change being implemented slowly and surely over time. That's why you have a thing known as cancel culture in this day and age. Half the jokes that got told 10 years ago, people watch it now and they're like, ooh, they cringe at it. Why? Because there's been a slow but gradual change in the culture of society, right? And that's been happening over the course of many decades, all right? This is what's basically going on, right? And the reason why this is happening is because they want to have everyone in the mind and the image of the beast, okay? Let me read on. verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So the reason why I mentioned all of this chain is because what you've had happen is going back to America again, which Babylon the Great in the Bible, which contains so many great prophecies in the Bible. They basically, since the turn of 2001, where you had 9/11 happen, they said that the National Guard turned from weekend warriors to basically having full implementation within the military of America. So they've been going out on tours, a lot of more of them are dying, and they've been galvanized much more to deal with on warfare. But guess what? They've been implemented within their society a lot more. So what they're doing, even though they're known as National Guard, they actually train military personnel, and they now function within society. And then you have the 1033 program over there in America, which basically deals with what? The militarization of the police. They basically get the military's hand-me-down weapons, all right? Then over here in the UK as well, more armed personnel, all right? If you remember, there used to be, when you had the firearm police, the armed police, sorry, the armed police, they used to drive around in a red vehicle to make it known that, look, they're armed police. But now guess what? They just roll around like the rest of them. They're now with X5s, rolling unmarked X5s at that, and marked X5s. Right, and going back to the time of the Olympics, what did you also have? You had them, I can't remember what the squad's actually called, but you basically had them rolling around on like, not military, dirt bikes. Like souped up dirt bikes with a sidearm, a rifle, a shotgun. Like they're armed to the teeth, and they're on motorcycles. So they can get anywhere and everywhere at any moment. So we're seeing more of this armed personnel on the ground, boots on the ground, folks. Because why? Martial law is about to be declared, man. So let me read it again. So this is 2nd Ezra 15 to 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So it says, men, you know, women in any situation of hardship, you know, women are gonna, you know, they're gonna crack, right? Because they ain't designed to deal with that type of shit. That's more time for men. But men are meant to be, you know, quite, you know, strong in those type of situations. But the word is saying that they're gonna be afraid. Men are gonna basically be shook, right? Yeah. So
he even said, you know, men desiring to go into a city. That's funny as well. Even with the military implemented, you've had a thing over the course of the years, anything called militarization of the police, where average things like Rob mentioned, like gun police in the UK at least, they've basically been expanded in their use. Like the red vehicles, they're meant to be like diplomatic vehicles as well. That's meant to be dealing with international interests or, you know, guarding, you know, diplomats or whatnot. Now you see them being used as well with you know, those attacks that have happened multiple times. That's why you've had it be able to build up. So I remember going back, like what, 2013, 14 maybe, when it was, you had, what was it? In France, you had like the military just rolling around, strapped up with FAMAS, getting on the underground, just snipers, just killing, like with their weapon trained on the people. And that was just a kind of expected response. That's really what happened. That's why you had the likelihood of an attack. They put amber alert, red alert, saying an attack's imminent. When these things scale up, then you just see police out on the normal. Where I work as well, they when it goes up to a red alert, then like all the security guards around there normally, but then it will go up to the point where they're all wearing armored vests, and then they'll have like pairs of police officers, like armed police, MP5s, and like submachine guns and pistol sidearms as well. They'll just be rolling around armed to the teeth on the regular, man. I had a guy come to me and just like with a weapon out there, just like, yeah, can I get a coffee? I was like, yeah, this is kind of wild. But in America, that's normal. But then what? The UK, that's a shift.
Yeah, that's a big shift. And basically, that's the same. Where I used to work, same thing. We used to have like they'll do like different drills, but also they'll have actual real threats. Where they've said like they've had like a T error is in the midst of that facility, and basically what would happen, they told stories like, yeah, the guy just dumped his pistol and ran out. So there's real threats out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the fucking guy with the machete around where I was working. That guy got fucking shot. Well, he got taken out. He got fucking restrained and taken the fuck out. But that's a thing.
Or Jake or some shit.
I don't know, I think it was Eli.
Oh, okay.
But no, that's a thing. It's like previously, you go back 10 years, he was. I remember when it was that Brazilian guy, man, Jimenez, whatever, I can't remember his full name.
Yeah.
That guy could speak no English. When like the police running up on him, blasting his brains
Lost his
out.
brains out.
That
The
shit
bloody
was, that shit,
tube.
yeah, on the tube. That shit was legendary. That was just like, what? These guns in the UK? Now that's a normal. Remember when the shit happened at like London Bridge? People were just like, oh my god, you had videos of people on Twitter on the table, just like, what's going? Like that's the thing. Now it's this. People have been put into that mindset, man, where they're ready to get down, man. They're it's like, yo, do whatever needs to be done to keep me safe.
I got a little bit. So it says, and because of the pride of the seas, verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and of great tribulation. That's even dealing with spirit within London. So much so that you got drill music that's gone international, man. I mean, it's an import from Chicago, right? But it's been exported to New York, which is kind of funny because really that shows you New York is Babylon, man. They can take anything and it becomes part of their fabric. But more so, the reason why I said it is because they made it their own over here. And now you have drillers. It's a big thing. You got people running around with samurai swords and they're poking people fucking, through their back, man. You got zombie swords, zombie knives that basically put inside, the guts come out and everything, man. So the spirit, and then
This video, I saw too. Video, a couple videos of that. He's looking guy rapping still. And like that's what the music's about. And it's like, yeah, that's the vibe that's going on.
yeah.
People are getting rapping.
And this is something that's kind of funny because it's like, it's something that's been perpetuated going back with grime music. This is basically the babies of grime. Who listens to grime music? All it's about is violence, man. So this is now turned into, and the guys that were basically making that music before, they weren't even doing half the shit. It was just like that was the vibe.
That was the energy.
But now
it was about.
But now it's like, that with like the Chicago drill, that meshing together. What now actually have actual gang members fucking doing this shit, man. Snapchatting it live, doing all kind of shit, man.
You see those stories? Well, it ain't even related to it. Fucking, they Snapchat. There was like on a football team in America. Like three of the, well, they recorded the whole thing first, tried to Snapchat. It was like they pinned down one other team member and then sodomized him with like a fucking hole or some shit afterwards, and then like recorded it, shared it, was just like fucking laughing about it. Like, bro, people are bugging out, man. It's social media got demons on people. Because I'm like, bro, like three man down, like rape the guy, and then afterwards we're just sharing it on social media. That's how they get shot. I'm like, bro, you guys out of your fucking minds, man. But that's the thing. It's the same thing with the drill. These, people basically are able to go out and glorify certain things. They get famous, and they're basically going to get their ego inflated from it. And that's really the sign of the times, man.
And they've been cultivated for the sake of that prophecy, man. So that, men can invade, like, Because you have people that have shotgun, legal firearm licenses within the city of London.
There was that thing that happened. Was it called somewhere? But a guy shot his arm and his dad.
Oh yeah.
That
So
was
that would be a,
like legal firearm in the UK.
so now they're gonna do what? They're gonna make it as where certain. And the reason why is because they're gonna start rounding up the people. Because a lot of people are gonna try and it's gonna be escape from London. Escape from the M25. That grid of the M25, they're gonna want to get out of it. And then in their attempt to get out, what's gonna happen? They're gonna be found to go into these stick towns and all that type of shit. And they're gonna have farmers with fucking shotguns, armed to the teeth. They're gonna try and run through a field. The guy's gonna be out there with his dog. Dog's gonna pull you down. He's gonna blast your head off. Yeah, blast your head off, man. So a lot of people think it's hunky dory in London.
Children of Men vibe, bro.
Yeah.
This one is gone. Bang! Blowing people's brains out. Proverbs 1 and 9. No way. And 10. My son, if sinners entice thee, said thou not, if they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood, let us lurk privately to be innocent without cause, let us swallow them up alive as grave, whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance, we shall fill our houses with spoil. That's these grimy ass niggeros, man. These grimy gremlins from the depths of the abyss, man. These guys crawl out of, these guys come like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, crawling out of manhole covers, out of sewers, to do death and destruction and harm to others, man. That's all they're looking to do, man. And that's the mindset, that's really what has been pushed on. A lot of these young Jakes, you see them. I remember I got on the fucking train, going home from camp one day. Then a bunch of these, I saw these guys, these gremlins, there was 4 or 5 of them on the platform. I moved down to the next carriage because I was like, I don't even be anywhere near these black, darknesses. These, I was like, I want to avoid them. Then they fucking run on the last minute into my carriage because the front one gets pulled up, and the whole time they were there, just shouting, making noise, being raucous, sending for each other, slapping. I was like, bro, you guys, what's wrong with you animals, man? I was like, what? You mean the savage life? Like, what's going on? But that's the thing. And those are just young kids. When you get these guys that are just out there looking to be harmed, they're just raised in a place where it's like it's a normal just going around shanking mans, selling drugs, doing all form of madness. They're, bro, them guys are out of their minds. And that's the thing. Like the brother said, it's gonna be a time where the lights are shut off, man. The power's gone. The form of accountability for your actions, that's going to be out the window. There's not going to be accountability. People are going to be able to indulge in whatever their hearts desire with no recompense. People are going to be recording on their phone. There's a video, man, I saw on Twitter of some white guy on TikTok saying like, that man's going to go eat that dog. He's like, look, he's laughing at me. He's chasing he's in fucking Africa, just in a village somewhere. He's the only white guy in the whole village. He's screaming to the guy with his phone. He's like, you're laughing at me, aren't you? You're gonna go eat that dog. Look at him. I'm gonna cancel you on the internet. And then he's just recording the guy. He's recording the guy, and like the dog is bound up. The dog is looking like, please save me. Like he's going home to make that dog meat legacy soup, man. That's what he's looking to do. He did. But that's the thing. It's the proverb. That accountability is gonna be gone. There ain't gonna be no social. It's gonna be like when Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp went down. There ain't gonna be nowhere to upload to. No one's gonna be there to give you your likes. The servers are gonna be down. Your phone's gonna be running out of power. You're not gonna want your flashlight on because black, disgusting creatures are gonna come through the night and swarm you and destroy you, man.
You know, everyone's gonna
fuck over everyone else.
Feed into the time. A good movie that shows that is Contagion. Contagion basically goes into and shows you how people form mobs. They heard this one had the cure for the virus, and then you're gonna have people that are gonna find out, oh, this one has flu, whatever.
They'll run up in there and look and smash shit up. Verse 15, pass in thy lot among us, let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them, refrain thy foot from their path, for their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own lives. They lurk privately for their own lives. So are the ways of every one is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Yeah, that's the same spirit these guys are all coming. They're coming out life taking, bringing death and destruction. That's going to be spread to everyone. Because it's like a big part of what feeds into is a lack, man. They're basically in a situation where they're fucking deprived, man. They're looking to get a slice. They turn on the TV. The whole lifestyle that's been sold to them is of glamour, is of money, wealth, success. And the way these guys are trying to do it is through the darkest means. And that's, hey, when it comes down to them times, everyone's going to be in that deprived state. Everyone's going to be lacking. There's going to be no shield of wealth. And then you might even have people that have been amassing silver and gold. They just get fucking walloped on the head, and then someone else takes it. Just with an 8p hammer, just taking them out, man. That's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be fucking cartoonish. What was I gonna say? Isaiah 31 and 1.